And look, finally, I want to talk about, and I hate to say it, and I feel kind of guilty as a New Zealander, having done journalism for 40 years. In some ways, the issue that has dominated this year and looks set to dominate the next year, and I hate to say it, New Zealand, is race or ethnicity. Yes. And the debate over the treaty, which is really a debate, or unfortunately seems to me to have degraded to a debate in some cases about race. We have the Māori Party called before the Privileges Committee to account for a total disrespect to the parliamentary process and the rules of Parliament. Do you see progress being made in that debate? Are we closer to a resolution of these very fundamentally difficult issues that confront our country?
The Pāti Māori has got away with it because there has been weak judgments in their behaviour. Their arrogance knows no bounds. They don't give a rat's about what anybody else thinks. They think that they're the new norm. And they come to Parliament dressed in T-shirts and slippers on and what have you, and cowboy hats on, and carry on as though the rest of us are nobody. I go back to, well, I'm going back in history, to 1867 when the first 4 Maori seats were started. And all those years, all those Maori leaders from all those down through the centuries have respected Parliament. And here comes this new bunch who are so arrogant that when we turned up in 2023 and took them on, they couldn't believe it. They hit the roof. They hate the fact that somebody's called into question because they're a fraud. Ngarawira Paka is 3/4 European, and she's carrying on as though that part of her bloodlines are just repulsive, and this little Maori part, minority part of her is so-and-so. Then she says today, a morning report, in a long interview, which was a disgrace in itself, that 20% of this country is Maori. That's a lie. Half Maori or more wouldn't be 5% of our population. So stop lying, stop denying our heritage, and stop trying to be separatists. But here's the good news. They've blown their credibility. From here on in, they're going down. You watch me when I say this. I've been in this game long enough to know when people blow their cover or do the extreme thing. And here we were arguing about a treaty bill. Well, they were entitled to tear it up in Parliament, but they weren't entitled to stop all the proceedings and have a haka and stare down another member of Parliament the way they did. Of course they should be going to the Privileges Committee. But the point is they've got to there because no one in the system stood up to them on day one. When they first turned up, they were dancing around giving these hakas in Parliament and doing all this kapa haka stuff as part of their speeches. And if you're allowed to stop and do kapa haka and what have you, how the hell can you have a parliamentary program? Because timetables are important. We're all busy. We've got meetings to go to. We've got committees to go to. We've got people to see, places to talk about. And all of a sudden, this party says, doesn't matter. For this time, forget about your agenda, forget about your timetable. I'm going to take over without any permission at all. Parliament is about rules. And the sad thing is, and I've said to Jerry Brownlee in a way, Jerry, you've got to stiffen up here real big because we've got to go back to what we used to be, a parliament where people, all of us, no matter what we liked or didn't like, nevertheless respected the right of the system to govern the time we are there when we're talking about a debate. It's complicated. So you do, and I was saying this morning, I think this is very important, this Privileges Committee hearing. It's as to whether or not there are rules and a functional parliamentary democracy in New Zealand. Well, they're likely to get up and start the haka at the committee, at the Privileges Committee. That's how they carry on. The answer is, yeah, that's good. So you're out of Parliament now for the next month with no pay. You're not going to get away with it.
Well,
that's what we're going to do. So we who are Maori since 1867 have been honouring Parliament. Why are this bunch of new latest clowns allowed to get away with it? Yeah. It's disgusting.